What makes a good user story, and what tends to slow teams down? In this micro lesson, you will learn what a user story is, what a good one looks like, and a few common mistakes that can cause confusion later on. A user story is a simple way of describing something a person needs and why it matters. It is not meant to be a full specification, and it is not a technical design. It is just a short description of a need, written from the point of view of the person who will benefit from it. The standard user story format is, as a specific user, I want to do something, so that I get a clear benefit. That gives you three things: who it is for, what they need, and why it matters. For example, as a returning customer using my phone, I want to repeat a previous order, so that I can check out more quickly. That is clear, specific, and focused on the outcome. Now, what makes a user story a good one? First, it should be about a real person in a real situation. Try to be specific. Instead of saying, as a user, say who actually needs this. For example, as a store manager, I want low stock items flagged at the start of each day so that I can reorder before shelves run empty. That tells us who needs it, what they need, and why it matters to the business. Second, a good story should focus on one outcome. If a story contains lots of "and," it is often trying to do too much at once. For example, if you say, redesign checkout, add PayPal, update emails, and improve speed, that is not really one story. It is several different pieces of work bundled together. A better approach is to break it into smaller parts, each with one clear outcome. That makes it easier to plan, test, and deliver. Third, good user stories talk about the need, not the technical answer. The story should explain what someone is trying to do, not how the team might build it. For example, instead of saying, build a new API for customer history, you could say, as a customer service advisor, I want to see a customer's recent interactions in one place so that I can solve their issue more quickly. That keeps the focus on the value rather than the technical solution. You can then decide later what the best way is to build it. It also helps to add a few clear checks so everyone knows when the story is complete. These do not need to be long, just enough to make the result clear. For that customer service example, your checks might be: the advisor can see key customer details, the last 5 interactions are visible, and access is limited to the right roles. Now let's look at a few common mistakes. The first is being too vague. A story like, improve the dashboard, does not tell us who it is for, what should improve, or why it matters. A better version would be, as a project lead, I want delayed milestones clearly highlighted so that I can take action before the delay gets worse. The second mistake is writing a task instead of a story. Something like, add a drop-down menu might be a valid task for the team, but it is not a user story. A user story should explain the value first. The third mistake is missing the benefit. For example, as a teacher, I want an export button. That still leaves an important question: why? A clearer version would be, as a teacher, I want to export attendance records so that I can share them with school admin without copying them by hand. That benefit helps people decide whether the work is worth doing now. So, before a story is ready to move forward, do a quick check. Who is it for? What are they trying to do? Why does it matter? And how will we know when it is done? Good user stories make work easier to understand, easier to prioritize, and easier to deliver. And that usually means fewer misunderstandings, fewer surprises, and better conversations across the team. If you found this useful, follow us for more Agile micro lessons.